guys, doing there today? Welcome back to another episode of Halloween at the Manor. We are going to do part 2 of the Jeepers Creepers Creeper build. So you saw in the last video, part 1, I did finish up the wings. And in today's video, what we're going to do is I'll just kind of go through and show you how I build the body up. Now, I am waiting on some accessories for this, so we did get the mask and the hat. But I am waiting on the clothing. So we did find a t-shirt, some pants, and an old duster, black duster to use for our costume. So we're just kind of waiting on that. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and make the actual props. So if you're interested, why don't you come along? The first thing I did was I took these 2 pieces here. These are 2x2 inch wood. And I bought 4 of these. They were 2x2x8s. So what I did was I cut 2 of these 5 feet long. So I have 2 of these that are 5 feet long. And this is pretty much going to be the entire frame. And then what we do is we basically just break this up into legs, torso, and so on and so forth. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make feet to put into shoes. So we're going to work on that next. So as far as feet go, this sounds really stupid, but what I like to do is I basically just put my foot down on a board and I trace out the outline of my foot and I cut it out. That's basically all I do. It's also good to have the shoe you're going to be using so that when you cut the feet part out, you can kind of put it in the shoe to make sure everything lines up properly. I get these at Walmart. They're like the cheapest boots that Walmart sells. I think they're like $15 a pair, and they're called Brahma boots, and they're of terrible quality. They're not steel-toed or anything, they're just a standard boot, but I pretty much use these on all of our props. Alright guys, so as you can see here, we do have these feet in here now. So this, like I said, I just put these in here to make sure that they fit when I'm working on this. So this is going to take these out now, and then the next step will be I'm going to attach the 5 feet posts to each foot, and we're going to start building up the frame. When you are finished, you may, and this is, I'm not sure, this depends, you may have to put something like a little piece of wood on the bottom here so that it is level, because as you can see here, this has a heel. So if it's a normal human foot will kind of slope down. With this, since it's straight, you might have to just go like this. You might have to put like a little bit of plywood underneath the toe box area to get it to stay upright. But again, it depends on the shoe and it depends on how heavy the prop is. I wanted to bring one more thing up about the feet. What I like to do is, after I have the feet attached to the 2x2 posts, I also like to put on there an extra support mechanism, and you can just cut out like a triangle in the wood or just something to connect the 2x2 and the feet together with this thing right here. So we are starting to line up our prop here, and we have the feet on, and we're starting to put in a brace here for what I'll call the waist. This is up about 36 inches, so this is about 3 feet. And then up here we are going to put another 2x2 across for the shoulders. So I have this pretty much set up here. And what I did was I just put some extra support. I had some leftover 1x4 inch scrap wood, so I just kind of put that in there on both sides just to give this thing some extra support. I did put the shoulder area up here, and this was 15 inches, so it comes in, this is a 1.5 inches and 1.5 inches, because between here is a foot. So there's 2 things that you can do now as far as the arms go. You can attach them right to the side, or you can attach them underneath. Completely up to you. Sometimes if you attach them out to the side, it makes the prop too wide, but you kind of have to play with it. This right here is 16.5 inches. I normally go 16.5 for a guy that's taller, and then I'll jut it out here a foot. Now, this all depends on how tall your prop is and kind of what you want it to do. The other thing too is that it also depends on where you put your arm, how you want your prop to move. So if you attach it right here all you can really do is twist it like this. If you put it down here, if you wanted to bring it in or bring it out, you can do that too. So that's kind of up to you. Now, when we get into hands, I normally use these here. These are just groundbreaking pops you can buy at Spirit Halloween. I think they're $10 for 2. However, on this project, I thought these hands are a little bit too small for the creeper, because the creeper is kind of a imposing creature. So I actually had some old latex monster gloves that I have been sitting in a closet upstairs for probably 2 years. And I decided to use those. And what I did was I'm gonna get into that in a little bit here, but I stuffed them with pool foam and then basically repainted them to match the creeper mask. So I was able to get the hands situated here. So I think I showed you guys I made this axe the other day, and I also made one of the throwing stars too. And basically what I did was I used the corpsing technique that I used on the wings to make this, but instead of staining it, I just spray painted it a metallic silver, which is exactly what they had in the movie. Now, as far as the hands go, I did fill this with pull foam. So as you can see here, it's soft. What I'm hoping is that his jacket that we ordered, the duster, like comes up to here and kind of covers all this. But I am gonna have to go back and I'm gonna have to repaint these hands because there is some cracking. On here, I kind of ran into a big issue and this all ripped up. I am gonna try to corpse this to see if I can get the plastic to melt on this to kind of cover this up, and then I'll just paint it with this olive paint that I have. But I did the same thing here, putting the pull foam in, and as you can see here, it kind of looks like he's holding the axe. Like I said, I kind of screwed this up. I was able to kind of corpse over what you just saw with all that pool noodle. So this is pretty solid right here, because when you melt the pool noodle, it will get hard. So what I ended up doing is I ended up kind of corpsing the whole forearm area, and I put some pool noodle underneath it. Basically, if the duster doesn't cover the whole arm and something might be sticking out, at least, I mean, like his flesh in Jeepers Creepers was like almost like he was almost dead. So I think this will be good. And what I'll end up doing is I'll go get a paint or a spray paint that's kind of like this olive color, and I'll paint this so that it'll cover all this from being white, and I think it'll give it some really cool texture. And what I'm gonna do is I decided, since I like this so much, I'm gonna do it on the other arm too, with the that has the little throwing star. All right, guys, I wanted to give you guys a little bit better shot here of the arms and the axe and stuff. So I did finish this up here. I painted it as best I could. It's kind of a mixture of like olive green, like a light tan, and black, which is basically what the colors of the mask are. It's close to what the mask is. It's not exact, but overall, I think this is going to look pretty cool either way. Like I said, I don't think it's going to look terrible. And then I have this one here with the throwing star on it, which I think looks really cool. And got the nails painted black and kind of have that. Now what's interesting is that in the movie, he looks more like a blackish, like almost like a bluish black, but the mask that Trick or Treat Studios put out, it is a tannish black with a little bit of like an olive in it as well. So it's a little interesting how they interpreted the mask. So I wanted to talk about briefly the axe. Now I did mention that I made this axe myself, and I basically just used 3 layers of plywood. So one layer was just this, the next layer was just an entire axe, and then the last layer was just another layer of this, and kind of put them all together with screws. Now, you can buy this exact axe from Trick or Treat Studios. They have a really nice one. However, it did cost $50, and I really just didn't feel like paying the money for it. So what I did was, like I said, I just made my own. This axe is 26 inches high from the tip to the bottom, and it's 14 inches from tip to the end of the blade here. So that's the exact measurements of the one that you could buy from Trick or Treat Studio. The other thing I want to talk about next is the neck. Now, the neck, like the arms, you really have to kind of play around with. This is how I usually do mine. I just cut a 2x2 here, try to get like a point on it, and then I basically just bore out the styrofoam head and then just put it on. The head is also going to be like the arms. You kind of have to play around with it based on the mast that you're using and how tall your prop is and things like that. The last thing we're going to get into is this is what I did for the creeper's wings. So I set up this little contraption here so that the pieces here, these two PVC pieces, will slide right through these holes here and into this hole here and keep the wings upright. And this is going to actually support the wing.
Okay, so if you wanted to make your prop look more human, what I like to do is I like to use pool noodles to beef up the leg area and even the shoulder and the arm area. So as you can see here, I put some pool noodle around the shoulder and kind of wrapped it around from like the neck down, just to give it a little bit of a look like it has like a shoulder muscle, and also with the legs here. So I basically made the thigh area a lot more padded, just trying to give it that more human of a look. We also have we did get the t-shirt in, as you can see here, and we also have the pants as well. And what I did was with the pants, I took a black spray paint and just kind of went over them to make them look dirty. And I also took a box cutter and cut up the bottoms to make them look kind of like tattered. And right now, this is where he's at. All right, guys, so here he is, the creeper. He is finished. And I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with how he came out. He looks incredible. It's kind of hard to tell, but he is probably about 6'5", maybe even 6'6". I'm about 5'9.5", almost 5'10", and he towers me. So he is a really imposing life-size prop. We got our duster in today, and what I did was I kind of cut it up with a box cutter to make it look kind of tattered. I showed you guys earlier. I did the same thing with the pants. Here's a look at the star that I made, and the mask. I have to say the mask is really, really cool. Trick or Treat Studios did a great job on that. The axe looks great. Here's just another look at the pants. I showed you this earlier. I kind of spray painted that with black spray paint. Here's his red t-shirt. I would have liked to spray painted that a little bit more, but I think for now I'm just going to let it go. We're just going to display this guy in our basement, so I think maybe when I put him outside for Halloween one of these years, then I'll get more into dustying this guy up and making him look a little bit dirtier. But like I said, overall, this really, really came out well. Let's take a look at the back here. You can see here he's got his long white hair. And right here in the duster, I showed you earlier in the video that contraption I made. This is where the wing is going to go in on both sides. They're not in yet, but I will show you some video of that. But like I said, this was a really cool project. I did have to put some wood underneath his feet, like I mentioned earlier in the video. I did end up using I believe it was a 1x4 inch piece of wood, and I kind of just cut it around the shape of the foot. And I did have to do that because he was tipping over, and I mentioned that before, that, you know, depending on how heavy the prop is, even the axe, like, that's going to make him kind of go forward. But overall, I think he's a great prop. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I apologize if it got long. I just really wanted to make sure that if anybody out there wanted to do this, you kind of had all the information to do it. I know I kind of skipped some things with like how I made the axe. If anybody would want to know how to do that, I can try to help. Also, like I said earlier, you can get it from Trick or Treat Studios. But anyway, this is what the creeper looks like. He's going to be a great addition to our basement of horror. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to give you some video of him with the wings.
Well, here is the creeper with his wings on. And as you can see here, it just slides in the back here in that little contraption that I showed you earlier in the video. These two PVCs just connect to that, and that's pretty much it. If we ever put him out for, let's say, a Halloween, I would definitely use some sort of rebar to keep him in the ground. I'm honestly probably going to try to put him in the wall, anchor him in the wall when we display him down here, because I really don't want him falling over. If he falls over, this axe will just splinter. But that is it, man. This is the finished product. I think the wings came out amazing. I think all of the colors match up really well as far as his mask, the wings, the paint. I just think this thing looks absolutely incredible, and really, really happy with the way that it came out. Like I said, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys maybe get the itch to do one on your own. And if you do, let me know. Anyway, have a good day. Thanks a lot for watching. Really appreciate it. And happy haunting.